Y'all, we broke. And I mean, we broke. I'm sitting here doing bills. First off, let me say hello, hi, hello, hi. Um, we broke. I don't know whether to cry, go find me something to drink. What the heck is going on? Like, seriously, what the heck is going on? And this is totally different content from the couponing content. And if it's not your cup of tea, I understand. I get it. I get it. But like, seriously. We broke. Y'all, my light bill, $900. What the fudge? $900. When I first opened the bill, my first thought was, oh snap, I didn't pay the bill last month. Hold on, because I won't lie, I've been a little lazy on keeping up with stuff. No, I paid the bill last month. The bill last month was paid. Light bill is $900. What the fudge? Our house is a little over 2,500 square feet. For the month, light bill was charged a month behind. The kids were still home. We still had a full house during the summer. But even so, like my kids, literally, all three of them. My youngest is 14. The oldest that I have home is my college student. She's 22. And then the youngest daughter is 18. Even with them being home throughout the summer, like literally, they're in their beds all day on their phones. Like, let's be for real. They're not being productive. If they're home at all. The oldest, she has friends that she's visiting with, so she's home from, she was home from college, and if she's home, she's in the bed, again, on her phone. And if she's up, it's because she's getting ready to walk out the door to go hang out with friends. And then the youngest daughter, if she's home, she sleeps because she's working, was working 2 jobs in the summer. Anyways, $900. I don't understand. Make it make sense. $900. So of course I called to what the snap? What happened? What's going on? And they give me some BS about, oh, well, what do you normally keep your AC at? And in the month of August, it's the highest month, the hottest month in Houston. So it's kind of normal. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I know. I prepare for that. I know. I figured it out first summer in this house, that in the summer, utilities are a lot more expensive. Like, I get it. I know that. I know. But $900? Well, she gives me this BS about, where you keep your temperature at. And I'm like, lady, I'm not about to sit in this house when it's 100 degrees outside and have my AC at 78 degrees. Like, no, I'll have a bigger problem. We'll all be in the hospital somewhere. No. I don't understand. So, blah, 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 blah. Went back and forth with the lady trying to figure it out. And of course, they try to sell you on, we have, a different program where if you do this, it'll cut your rate to this. And it's like, and I'm looking over the bill and they charge you a delivery fee. What the hell are y'all delivering? It's lights. Y'all not bringing me a power bank every month. Like, there's not somebody dropping it off. What are we delivering? it's absurd. It's what it is. So of course, you know, first thing after we go back and forth, I said, look, I can't pay this. I can't. I can't afford this. I can't. Let me get that extension. And that's what I did. I did an extension because $900 make it make sense, because it doesn't. On the upside, my water bill was $23, so I happily paid that. Don't know how that's possible because I got a whole garden out there. I'm trying to keep my trees alive, but my water bill was $23, so I happily gave them their money. But y'all, $900, and then I'm going through a stack of bills here. My flood insurance is coming due for renewal. This is something that we've had for probably about 4, maybe 5 years now, and I plan for it. I know that it's going to be up for renewal towards the end of the year, so I put money away throughout the year, so when that big bill comes, I can just pay it, right? It tripled. It tripled. Make it make sense. It tripled. My flood insurance was $380, and here's $480. And here's the thing: we are not even technically in a flood zone. Like, we're not. We're not required to have flood insurance because we're not in a flood zone. The reason we got flood insurance is because of the way they built up these neighborhoods and the surrounding areas. A couple of years ago, there was a huge storm that came through, and literally just the street over from where my subdivision starts at, it flooded. And I'm talking people, houses flooded. And that's what made us get flood insurance. It's like literally a street over. And it's like if they didn't have, at that time they were having new construction and the land had been cleared. So it was pretty much dry ground. And it's like if they hadn't dug all that land up, that water would just kept flowing right over that hard clay, and it would have hit our subdivision. So that's the only reason why we got flood insurance, was because we seen what happened. And it's like, let's just rather be safe than sorry, right? We can afford. And at the time when we first got our flood insurance, it was like $300, I think, for a whole year. And then it went up to like $4 something, and it stayed pretty much at $4. It was like $420, $460 or whatever. All that to say this, it tripled. My flood insurance is now $1,200. So I'm like, you know what? No. Like, we are not even required to have flood. Like, no. Y'all, I am trying to hold it together. Here's the thing. 2025 came in hard and fast. There is a lot that's been going on within my four walls and just within the world itself, within the economy itself. But yeah, we broke. I just paid tuition for the fall-winter semester for my daughter in college. Granted, she does get financial aid. She does get grants. The grants that we were anticipating that she was going to get, that was going to be able to cover everything, it did not. So, of course, we had to pay the remaining balance. She just got a job, which is great. Thank goodness. And it'll be for her to have money in her pocket and, feed herself and what have you. You guys know a coupon, so it's not like she has to buy any of her toiletries or anything like that. And honestly, she don't have to buy food. She's about an hour, 15 minutes away. So when I meal prep for the household and I cook in bulk, I'll make a couple extra things, freeze it, and when she's home or when the hubby goes up to visit her, then we'll just send her meals and she has, a freezer up there. So anyways, she has a job now, so we don't have to send her a couple bucks here and there. She'll be able to have her own money, in her pocket. But y'all, my husband's job. Okay, so let me back up, because I haven't talked like money and finance in a long time on this channel. Let me back up. I'm married. My husband works a 9-to-5 gig, and then he has a 1099 job, a side gig. I'm self-employed. I do YouTube in order to make income, and then I do bookkeeping, and that's where the bulk of my income comes from. And then because I coupon, I'm able to resell from the coupon they stockpile. However, right now there ain't much reselling going on, but that's a video for another day. Okay, moving on. My husband lost a contract because it wasn't renewed, because the school was sold. He was working for a private school, and then they sold the school, and they didn't renew the contract for a lot of the employees, or a lot of the contractors, a lot of the 1099 workers. Okay, so we didn't get that contract back. Then his main 1099 job that he's been with for years, where he actually makes the bulk of his money, they sold the company. And a lot of changes came about, including the hourly rate or the contracted rate of pay, the hours, so he's not getting the hours, and then the responsibility load. Like, it's a lot. And then with his 9 to 5, and I say 9 to 5 because he doesn't really work 9 to 5, it's more part-time. But anyways, with his W-2 job, that job, honestly, I ask him all the time when he get up and go, like, why are you working that job? And honestly, it only pays for our health insurance. So, you know, I'm thankful for that. Thank God for that. But it only pays for our health insurance, honestly. But yeah, we broke. That's it. We broke. So over the summer, because of the type of work my husband does with the 1099, it slows down. He still works the gigs, but it slows down like a lot. So that has always been a constant, right? Always been a constant. And one thing that we have always done is we put away, because we know that come the summer, we're going to have to make sure that, you know, we can cover the deficit that we're obviously going to have because he's not making the type of money. And part of that had been me going hard with YouTube and, you know, making videos, being able to bring in some money from YouTube to help cover that deficit, and then also reselling from the couponing stockpile, which has been like slow. Be honest, it pretty much dried up. Let's just say that. Truth be told, it dried up. And then you guys know I haven't been here on YouTube like talking about it, and definitely didn't do what I thought I was going to be able to do in the summer. And for no other reason than life just didn't life that way. With having the girls home, my oldest daughter was working. We only have one vehicle. My husband has a vehicle, but we don't count his because he works dang near 3 jobs, so can't count his. But anyways, just all the up and down and up, and all the things going on, and bookkeeping business, blah, 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 blah. I just couldn't put into YouTube as I was anticipating to be able to. Now, with that being said, with the other things that we typically do to keep income coming in throughout the summer when my husband's income slows down, it would have been enough to keep us afloat. However, because he lost the one contract, and because his hourly pay or his contracted pay with the 1099 company decreased, and then the hours decreased, well, it hit us hard. So here's where we're at. We broke. That's what I'm about. We're broke. We have a little bit of reserve in the emergency fund. I have been having to take out of the emergency fund to cover the shortfall. So thank God that we had that reserve, obviously. That, you know, I have been working hard and putting money back anytime I can. So I'm glad that, you know, we had that, or we have it. But it's drilling down quickly. It's the issue here is, even though I think we live very modest, I coupon. Y'all know I coupon. Y'all have seen me over the years stretch $1. I do all these things. We ain't out here buying this, buying that, going here, going that, and we ain't doing none of that. Even though we live as modest as we can and within our means, the issue is It's just daily living. The cost of living is increasing at a rapid rate. My God, my light bill is $900. What the fudge? Oh my Lord. And then the cost of groceries, the cost of actual food. Y'all see, I've been hustling my butt off these last, 2 weeks on YouTube, trying to figure it out, trying to put all that I can put in it. Because at this point, it's like either I'm gonna give it my all and see what comes from it, or I'm gonna have to reopen the daycare. But then here's the issue with reopening the daycare. It's a lot of issues with that, but the main issue is that people don't have the money. That's the truth. People don't have the money. Currently, the government is shut down. We never get all political, but currently the government is shut down. Public assistance is being cut. In the area that I live in, the average home is depending on some type of public assistance, whether it's Medicare, Medicaid, SNAP benefits, or child care. So opening the daycare, it's an option. The space is there. It's an option. I still have my license. It's an option. The issue is that I know people can't afford what I would want to charge, what I need to charge in order for it to make sense. There's so much. My mind is just like, my mind's just been racing and racing and racing. And please understand, it didn't happen overnight. It feels like it happened overnight, but it didn't happen overnight. I feel like, I sit down, I do the budget, I look at everything, and I'm like, okay, we're going to get caught up. We're going to get caught up. We're going to get caught up. We're going to be able to stop pulling from the reserve. We're going to get caught up. And we have yet to get caught up. Y'all, we broke. My light bill is $900. My mortgage is $1,530. My light bill is $900. That's crazy. Crazy. The only debt we have is the mortgage, my husband's truck note, and then my college student. I did a Parent Plus loan this year in order for her to be able to get all her finances done, and then we pay what we got to pay out of pocket. Like, we just paid $3,200 for this semester. It's her last year, thank God. It's her last year. Graduates in May, thank the Lord. It's her last year. We broke. We broke. And I'm not quite, I'm frustrated. It's all the above. Like, I'm gonna cry. I'm frustrated because it's like, we live within our means. We live so modest, y'all. I go back and I'm like, YouTube. There's videos of mine that pops up on my feed that's like from 3, 4, 5 years ago. And I'm like, dang, girl, you still got that shirt. In fact, you wore that shirt the other day. Like, literally, I will wear anything until the last thread falls off. Very much modest around here. We are not living an extravagant life. Like, we're not. My guilty pleasure is just making sure I get my little nails done, and I do the basic of basic of basic. I ain't even out here doing the fancy stuff. It's give me a little powder and a little color, and I'm good. And so it's frustrating because, like, you do all the things you're supposed to do. Live within your means. Stay within your budget. Budget out for everything. Put money away. Do this, do that. And then your light bill $900. And your mortgage is $15. Make it make sense. So here's my plan. Here's my plan. I'm hustling hard. Y'all see me on YouTube. I've been doing these videos. I've been putting it out there. My house is dirty because I ain't got time to clean it, truth be told. But I'm hustling hard. That's my plan. At this point, I'm going to give all that I can to YouTube to see where it goes. But I am definitely contemplating reopening the daycare. And then seeing where we go from there. Yeah. So, not to be a deadbeat downer. I don't need nobody feeling sorry for me. We are all in this pot together. Everybody got a story. Everybody got an issue. Everybody got a high bill that they sitting there looking at trying to figure out why. Why? Do we really need lights? Do we need water? Do we need hot water? Like, why? It's just crazy. My action plan is to look at what we have access to. You know, we have a retirement account. So I stopped maybe 2 months ago contributing to the retirement account because I'm like, okay, hubby, you know, your hours got cut, your pay got cut, this contract didn't get renewed, you haven't found a new contract. We're going to cut the retirement for just right. We're going to stop it for just right now. Just that way we don't get too deep in a hole here. But again, even with the reserves that we have, with the emergency fund that we have 2 months of mortgage payments. Or 2 months of being able to pay the utilities and buy groceries. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. With my bookkeeping business, it's doing great. I had taken in new clients last year. I still have those clients. I did offer a couple of new services. I had one client take me up on that service, which was great. But then at the same time, I had one of my biggest clients let go of 2 of the extra services outside of just bookkeeping that I offer. So I got a new client. Well, I got a client that came aboard with some new services, but then another client let services go. So it just flattened, just evened itself out. There was the needle wasn't moved. You know what I mean? It just evened itself out. So I don't know, y'all. At this point, I'm about to ask my daughter if they hiring at the Whataburger, because she works at Whataburger. I'm like, girl, give me a job there. I'll figure it out. I could work part-time. When I have time. When. I don't. But I'm going to figure it out because something got to give. Something got to give. So what I'm doing is taking it one day at a time and one thing at a time. That's all you can do. Feel free if you want to vent in the comments about your own personal situation or what's going on or how you feel about things in the economy. Try not to go too political because this is not a political channel. We're not going down that road. At the end of the day, we are all in the same melting pot. If you ain't got the money, it don't matter what you believe in or what you don't. You ain't got the money, period. That's what it comes down to. Oh, Lord. The cost of living is ridiculous. No matter how much you stay on budget, how much you live within your means, the means keeps rising. And the rate of income does not. I was planning to do price increasing with my bookkeeping come the top of January, but the way the economy is, I see these people books. They can't afford it. They'll be running their business to pay out all their money. The truth is they can't afford it. They're not getting the services in to be able to afford my price increase. Have I mentioned the economy is trash? Because it is. But I gotta go. I gotta go finish calling bill collectors. See who I'm gonna pay and who I ain't gonna pay. Get an extension here and there. And then head out for my son's football game. So feel free if you want to share in the comments how you are making ends meet in this economy. Feel free to do so. All right. Y'all have a blessed one. Till then. Bye.